Welcome back, Colts Nation. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the Pro Bowl and which guys made it, which guys didn't, which guys should have. Okay, this is a conversation. It's a hot topic, especially for me. This is something that I've felt passionate about for quite a while. You know, the Pro Bowl and All Pro and how all these things work out in the NFL, like the way things are done in terms of the Pro Bowl. Just the Pro Bowl itself, they're trying to change, the Pro Bowl games and have different things. Like they used to have a blueprint for it. Just have a bunch of mini games. Just go back to doing what you used to do, right? You don't have to have the game, right? If nobody's going to play the game anymore, then just don't have the game. You don't need to do flag football and risk that injury either. But I do think that the right people should make the Pro Bowl, right? Like when I was growing up, I'm 30 years old, almost 31. When I was growing up, like guys that made it to the Pro Bowl, like there was a reason that they were there, right? You don't have backups making like a couple years ago, right? Tyler Huntley makes the Pro Bowl. How does that happen? I understand, good name, right? And this is when people say popularity contest. That's the kind of stuff they're talking about right there. Tyler Huntley shouldn't have a Pro Bowl to his name. Tyler Huntley shouldn't have the same amount of Pro Bowls in his career that Kenny Moore has in his. Okay, so when you look at it, of course, Quentin Nelson makes the Pro Bowl because people don't really know offensive linemen. They just know that Quentin Nelson has always been a beast. He's always made the Pro Bowl, so he's going to continue to make the Pro Bowl, right? Now, admittedly, the thing that we really look for is all pros, especially with the way the Pro Bowl is and the way people sit out now. Don't worry about going to the Pro Bowl. I think we're moving towards a part of history where when some of the guys playing right now are ready to go into the Hall of Fame, we're going to be talking about how many All Pros did they have. We're not really going to talk about the Pro Bowl years because it's so wishy-washy, right? So the Colts, again, end up with Quentin Nelson. Quentin Nelson, of course, making the Pro Bowl. You can almost slot that one in every single year because the only people on the offensive line, especially in the AFC, in terms of guards that anybody's going to know is Quentin Nelson and Joel Bitonio. All right, if you look at the Pro Bowl alternates that the Colts have, you have Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly's been one of the best centers in the league all season long. How is he not in the Pro Bowl? Okay, yes, there's a good chance he ends up being on one of the All-Pro teams. Should be first team All-Pro. He's been the highest graded center in the NFL pretty much the entire season. So I don't know how he doesn't make the Pro Bowl. Okay, I understand he's an alternate. Alternates don't really matter. You didn't make the Pro Bowl if you're an alternate, but they have alternates now because people don't go to the Pro Bowl, right? Ryan Kelly should have been a for sure thing as Pro Bowl player. Another for sure kind of player for Pro Bowl is the guy that's been leading the NFL in tackles all season long, Zaire Franklin, who just broke his own franchise record for the Colts in terms of tackles in a single season. And again, this is the guy that's been leading the league in tackles all season long, been all over the field, been leading the defense. And this one's tricky, and Kay Adams is the one that brought this point up. But the linebackers is tricky because there's only a certain amount of linebackers, right? There's only a couple where you have some other places like the 3 quarterbacks are going to get in. You're going to have, 3 or 4 running backs that get in, a bunch of receivers that get in. So, it's a little bit different when you're talking about the defense, especially those linebacker groups. But either way, one way or another, the leader in the NFL in tackles all season long should be a Pro Bowler. It's really not that difficult. Okay, something else that's not that difficult. Michael Pittman Jr., who has made the Pro Bowl before, is having the best year of his career, has 100 catches for the first time in his career, went over 1,000 yards, has had a phenomenal season, and has only missed, a game and a half? So, in my opinion, Michael Pittman Jr. should have been a sure thing. And when you look at the list of guys, yeah, they're impressive, they're big names. Why is Jamar Chase on the list, right? Like this is what we're talking about, popularity contest. Jamar Chase, you go look at his numbers, they're decent. Michael Pittman Jr. deserves to be in the Pro Bowl. He deserves to have that on his resume. Okay, and that's what we're talking about here is this resume for these guys. When you're talking about Pro Bowls, talking about all pros, it's part of the resume at the end of the year and at the end of their careers. And Michael Pittman Jr. has put in the work. He's been through so much. He's waited so long to get that quarterback, right? And then Anthony Richardson comes in, Anthony Richardson goes out. Now, luckily, Gardner has been able to get the job done for the most part. And again, Michael Pittman Jr. has had the best year of his career. A lot of that is on Michael Pittman Jr., right? The run after catch and what he's able to do once the ball is in his hands is great. He's also able to go get the contested catch. He's able to get open in the end zone for an easy touchdown. So Michael Pittman Jr. should have been a sure thing in terms of Pro Bowl. And Kenny Moore, I thought, was somebody that should have been a sure thing also. I don't know how Kenny Moore doesn't end up in that Pro Bowl conversation once again. He should have another one to his resume, almost guaranteed. I feel like he should definitely be on one of the All-Pro teams. The way things go, never know if he really will, especially if we don't make the playoffs. He probably won't. I feel like that's just how that's going to go. Is, we're not going to hear anything about Kenny Moore being an All-Pro this season if we don't end up making the playoffs. But Kenny Moore has played incredible this season, right? And I feel like you just have to take his physical stature into account when you talk about him and talk about what he does, right? He plays so well in the run game. He's so willing to tackle in the open field, so willing to go blitz the quarterback or blitz and get that tackle for loss. He's so good and instinctual to be able to get around a block real quick on a screen play and blow that play up. Like, Kenny Moore does everything so well. And this year has been such a big bounce back year for Kenny Moore after what we saw last year, right? Last year, admittedly, he has even talked about how last year was a bit of a letdown. But here we are at the end of 2023, a complete bounce back season, one of the best corners in the league, been one of the best players on the team this year. There was just no way Kenny Moore shouldn't make the Pro Bowl. And again, yes, I understand a lot of these guys could end up being on one of the All-Pro teams, very likely. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to kind of talk about the Pro Bowl. We hadn't talked about the guys that had made the Pro Bowl and the guys that were alternates, but I thought there were some guys that were worthy, right? Like, I thought EJ Speed was a guy that should have been an alternate. Like, I could understand why he wouldn't be a starter, but I thought EJ Speed was somebody that could have been in consideration for an alternate position on the Pro Bowl team. I feel like Jalen Jones has been so shut down this year as a rookie. He should have probably been an alternate, right? But these are the issues. People don't really care about Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore doesn't get all the turnovers, doesn't get all the flashy plays because people don't go towards Kenny Moore because he's a playmaker. You go towards Kenny Moore, you're playing with fire, right? And it's the same thing with Jalen Jones, a young guy, 7th round rookie. Nobody's going to know his name, but he's come out and he's been a beast. And he's a guy that in some way, shape, or form, right, he'll probably make like the all-rookie team if I had to guess. But it just irks me the way they do the Pro Bowl now. There's no meaning to the Pro Bowl, which sucks. The game growing up, the Pro Bowl game itself used to be electric. Guys used to actually go into the Pro Bowl and play, and the score would be, 42-35. Both sides were actually trying to win the game, and they were actually playing football. And that's what I miss in the Pro Bowl, and it'll never be that again, which sucks. I don't remember what year it was exactly when it really shifted and people were like, all right, we're not doing this anymore. But the iconic highlight of the Pro Bowl is Sean Taylor lighting a punter up. Like, that's the Pro Bowl. And that's what the Pro Bowl should be. The best football players in the world from all different teams coming together onto one field and seeing, all right, who's best, the AFC or the NFC? Or you could even continue to draft it the way they've been doing and mix it up and just have fun with it. But either way, the Pro Bowl isn't what it used to be. Pro Bowl voting is a joke. It's a popularity contest at this point. So we're really going to be waiting to see what the All-Pros are. But there is something to be said for some recognition, right? Being able to be recognized by your peers, being recognized by fans, there is that avenue to it. And I'd like to know what your thoughts on all this are. You let me know down in the comment section. Of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and make sure you're getting notified when any other videos come out on this channel. But with that said, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.